The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, it's tragic, the wars are getting into. I was going to be in the military when I was a kid. That was one of my... I wanted to be in special forces. And you look at me now, being a transgender guy with that... But yeah, that was where I was. I know Trump wouldn't have let me in the forces right now if I applied right this second. But yeah, so I follow everything. I kind of run my life on a military... That sounds a bit weird. I run my career on a military thing, 'cause it's quite difficult to, any career, putting it together is kind of weird. What's your next move? What's this?
How so? You like strategize? Isn't that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Strategy up the wazoo. I plan 50 years ahead.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, if you think about it, I came out as transgender 34 years ago. That's not the first good thing that an agent wants to hear. You're transgender? That's 85. This is such a hot thing. This is, even now, they would say, okay, well, it's got a little better than it was for about 10 millennia. It's a little better now, but it's still not the hottest ticket that everyone's. We want transgender guys in here for this, that, the other. It's not the top of the list.
Right.
And I've also got boy mode and girl mode, and I do dramatic films in boy mode, and then I'm touring in girl mode and doing stand-up, and I campaign for politics in girl mode. And I just...
How do you do that?
I just change, take off heels, flat shoes.
Yeah, because if you were just talking... Like if you didn't have makeup on and you didn't have the heels and the nails, you just seem male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's I think it's genetically inbuilt. There's some. I think there's quite a lot of people maybe who were the way they live their lives, they live their own personality. They're not particularly male or female. Mm-hmm. I feel. But I've always felt, since I was 4 or 5, I wanted to express this side of myself, and it's built in. I think it's genetic. And if you analyze masculine and feminine, if you really get down to it, I find it impossible to come up with anything that was particularly masculine, particularly feminine, except for the ability to build muscle mass is easier for men, in inverted commas. That's it. But, great footballers, soccer players, men and women, athletics, runners, men and women, strong character men, weak character, men and women, mathematicians, whatever it is. There's nothing that you can really say, that is only good shot and with a gun. No, anyone could do that. It's we're all humans, and we get fixated by the masculine and feminine. Whereas if it's a tiger's attacking you and trying to kill you, you don't go, now, is this a girl tiger or a boy tiger? We don't care about it, and they don't care either, the tigers.
So you've always felt like you gravitated towards feminine things, towards...
No, gravitated towards both. I gravitated towards playing soccer. I was in the first team for 2 years when I was a kid. Was planning to do officer training corps and then go Marines or Paras and then go into Special Forces, RSAS, which would be the equivalent of your Delta Force. And that was a distinct plan. I knew a lot about that. And I thought, which war they're going to send me to? Actually, which war they send me to? And it could be the idiots that I'm at school with will send me to the wrong war. Because World War II is very clear, and then after that, every other war is kind of hazy. But there's all this feminine side, girl side. I'm not sure how to do it. Articulate, even after 34 years, it's difficult to articulate. But I wanted to express that. And if I look more like a woman, then it would be much easier. But so I decided to do that in '85 when it wasn't cool. And I've had a lot of fights in the street, a lot of people screaming abuse at me. Taken a couple of people to court, or just reported in the police, and then we went to court. And and you fight. So instead of going to do a military fighting thing, I've said, this might be wrong for me to say this, but I say I've done Special Forces Civilian Division, fighting people in the streets, screaming at people's streets. I now perform in 4 languages. I've run over 80 marathons. I'm going into politics next year, and I came, and the transgender thing it's in a better place than it was back in '85.
Well, it's certainly now. I think because of probably Caitlyn Jenner and the movement that you're seeing to accept people that want to do whatever and anything they want to do.
Yeah, it is just we're more accepting of each other. We do seem to be more. What's the word? Begins with a T. More open, more allowing. There's a word for it which just walked out of my head. But anyway, that word. But and at the same time, people going around doing more killings and stuff at the same.
Well, there's more people.
Yeah, there is more.
There's just sheer volume of humans,
and the population growth is insane. It took us like 200,000 years to get to 1 billion.
Yeah.
And then it's taken us, I don't know, 50 years to get to 7.5 billion, which is scary.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I think the United States population was less than 200 million. Now it's 300 million. And global was whatever it was. Now it's 7 plus, bordering on 8
billion
7.5 people.
Yeah. When I came out, I think it was 6.5, and I think that's just running away. And one of the weird things is if we are having less wars, if we're getting better health to people, then more kids are around. And some people in I suppose, lower income backgrounds around the world, they will say, well, we need to have 6 kids because that's what, you know, if you don't have much money, that's what we do. But as economics get better, people have less kids, and that hopefully that should calm down. There should be a bottoming. I think they feel there will be a leveling off of the population.
Yeah, I've read that theory that they believe that industrialized nations and westernized society, when people start having 2 careers, you know, and then 2 career households, people are less likely to have a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
So as people do better, they have less kids.
Yeah. So I'm a glasses 2/3 full person. That's what I feel. Instead of a glasses half full, half empty person.
So you're optimistic.
I'm a big. I couldn't be here. In the hills with the nails. I'm planning to do this. I've got a film coming out, and then I'm touring the country, and then I'm going to politics as well. And
when you first started wearing women's clothes and dresses and makeup on stage, did people think it was a gimmick? What did they think?
They did. I decided not to call them women's clothes. Just I just say they're my clothes. I would just wear dresses.
Right.
You know, like women can wear trousers or pants, and we used to call it men's pants, and I said, they're pants. Fuck it. So, but yeah, I first started talking about it and not wearing anything. Again, look kind of boy-like and male-like. And
you were talking about it like...
I had the first joke. This is my first ever joke. I had this about 2 years before I did it. I said, look, you're doing stand-up, so if you're from a minority, it's kind of a good thing. So in stand-up terms, so if you're from a lower income background, you can say rich people. God, it's so easy for them. If you're a woman, you say men. Men. If you're from an ethnic background, you say white people. Oh, it's white people. So if you're a white male middle class stand-up, it's useless. So thank God I'm a transvestite. That was my first laugh, and everyone thought he's making jokes about something that he's not. You know, and they wouldn't believe me. And journalists were going, I don't know why he's doing this because he's doing pretty well now. But I don't know, is this a joke? So I thought I better wear a dress, put some makeup on. And then they said, okay, he's doing this. He is serious, but he looks a mess. This kind of baby elephant thing I was doing. Okay, got to get your weight under control. You got a better haircut than that, and you just got to fail a lot. And there's a humiliation period. I mean, this is the weird thing about coming out, that it's kind of humiliating. People say people say horrible things. What they say, what the fuck is that? Somebody said to my face right there as I was walking out of a restaurant. So I thought, that's not very nice. And you have to be able to deflect it and go, well, you're obviously a scumbag, so fuck you, man. So
is it mostly men?
Yes, and occasionally women. Occasionally women, but I mean, it's low. People of lower character or lesser character. If you're strong character in yourself, you don't care. Live and let live. What the hell?
Right.
People. Okay, it doesn't quite look together, but life's tough enough. But if you want to put someone down, you raise your own status by doing it, and they will do that. And so I have stood in the street, and people have unloaded swear words, invective to me, and I've just fuck you and and they go, what you fucking, and fuck you and and there's literally 2 or 3 of them or one of me just screaming at each other, and I just won't back down now. This happened recently. It was 9 months ago. Someone outside my house in London just having a go at me. So I had to go at him.
They knew who you were as well?
Yeah, they did. They knew exactly where. They knew where I live. We said, we're going to do your house, Izzard. And I thought, who the hell is this arsehole?
Just because of the way you dress?
Well, it was... He added that into it. There was an altercation over... I was just packing my car up because I was just driving home to see my dad, and somebody said, you got to give me a ride in your car. And I said, so someone heckles me like that in the street, I just come back with you will never have a ride in my car. I have to give you, what do I have to give you? So that happened, and then this guy went off, and this and that and the other, and it's just screaming at me, and so I'm shouting back at him, giving him word for word, and then I said, who is that idiot? And they said, oh, that's this guy. Oh, he's a nutter. He does this. I went, all right, maybe I should mention it, because he said he's going to do I'll mention it to the police. it doesn't matter. 2 weeks later, same thing. Who's shouting at me? Oh, it's the same dickhead. So I thought, right, next time I go past
So
the
now
police
he knows
station-
where you live.
Well, he always did. He was right in front of the house.
That's always fun, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and he said, we're going to do your house when you're away.
great.
So that was his opening gambit.
We're gonna do your house when you're away.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know they're a coward.
Yeah,
right
well,
away.
it was not very positive. He didn't run a PR company, I don't think.
That's kind of terrorism, right? They're trying to strike terror in you when you're away.
Well, yeah, that is that is the hatred thing.
Did you think about just going out there and fucking them up?
I don't think I'm quite that. I would have liked to if I'd gone through the military thing. If I'd gone through, I would have learned how to do that,
Right.
And I've never have Krav Maga'd myself up to the thing. And I do need to Krav Maga myself up, but I haven't got there.